This is arguably the best written and the longest event in Stellaris. The Horizon Signal, if you encounter it without knowing what to do, you might end up completely screwing yourself over, because a single wrong choice in this very long event chain may lead you to become spiritualist, or turn your world into a tomb world, and change your species into militarists. It all depends on your choices. On the other hand, if you know what you're doing, it can give you a lot of research, 2 unique buildings per empire, and a unique trait for an admiral, as well as a very cool story, or even a permanent happiness bonus and a pretty decent amount of raw resources and a relic at the end. It's not game-breaking advantages, but they're certainly nice to have. I read through it every time except in multiplayer games, and as such I would not want to give any major spoilers, but I have attached a too long didn't read version at the end with the timestamp in the description. This guide is assuming you do not want to be morphed into a militarist, pacifist, or any potentially negative consequences. For those who do want to try those out, I suggest consulting the wiki. The way you can trigger this event, as it is now, is by repeatedly entering a system with a black hole, and then entering another system with a black hole. It was changed in a patch long time ago, and as of 2.5 I can confirm that this method works. You got to set your science ship to patrol between 2 black hole systems, and eventually you should get lucky. You have about 2% chance every time you enter for this event to trigger. Event trigger only once per galaxy, so when it is triggered for another player, you cannot get it anymore. It is not known if it can trigger for the AI. Without spoiling it, go along with the whole thing with some scientific skepticism. The important part is when you investigate a derelict science ship, if you see the words "creative form of treason," execute them, then choose that option. Every time. Otherwise, you may turn your species into something you do not want them to turn into. There are a lot of side events that occur. They are mostly beneficial. Go along with them. The one that happens on a new colony has a 25% chance of wiping out your colony, but that is about 3 or 4 pops at the time that this happens, and 75% chance you will get 2 special features on the planet. So if you ask me, that is very much worth it. The one to watch out for is the one with primitives. If you see them doing the loop stuff, then stop them, because in the end they will be wiped out. The buildings themselves are nice, but nothing game-breaking. They have been altered between game versions, but generally one of them gives large amounts of energy production, but can only be built with very restricted criteria. The other is a free science production pyramid that does not use a pop to work. As such, it's a good build on a fringe work colony. It is not generated from jobs, but it is needed to progress the event chain. When you have about 20 or 30,000 fleet power, feel free to research the event log and let the worm into our reality. It will ask you a question, to which you should say no, and fight the worm. Otherwise, if you do choose yes, your home system will turn into a black hole and home world into a tomb world, with all your pops gaining tomb world preference, which is not a very nice thing for most people, but you can do you. After you defeat the worm, you gain a large amount of energy and a special relic that is very useful. So this section is for the too long didn't read, a quick walkthrough. Send science ships to patrol between 2 black holes until you trigger the event. Keep sacrificing leaders to the signal. Go along with everything. When you get creative form of treason as a dialogue option, pick that. Prevent primitives from finishing the loop stuff. Build the event-specific buildings, say no to the question, and finish the research only when you have 20 to 30,000 fleet power, and kill the worm for the final reward.